Hi, I'm Jason, and this is the Cultural Breakdown. So it looks like it's true. When it rains, it pours. With Disney, everything seems to be going bad for them at once. People could point out that Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is doing well, but even then, the box office gross for that can't help prop up everything else that they're doing that's failing. Like you had Strange Worlds that came out that failed. You got Lightyear that came out that failed. Little Mermaid failed. Looks like the Dial of Destiny is going to be a huge failure. And now we got Elemental that's expected to be a huge failure too. Let's look at this article from Bounding in the Comics. Upcoming Pixar film Elemental expected to have the worst opening weekend in the company's history. This is a company that dates back now like 30 years, and this is expected to be the worst movie that they've had. And they've actually had a lot of box office bombs themselves. Strangely enough, The Good Dinosaur was another box office bomb that Pixar produced, and it was directed by the same guy who directed this one. Isn't that a coincidence? How do you get work if you're losing money for a company? Yeah, I mean, I can see like, oh, it just didn't work out, but we still like you anyway. But I mean, there's going to be a line where they're like, hey, you need to make us money, otherwise find another job. No wonder this guy doesn't direct much stuff. But anyway, let's continue. Variety reports the film is tracking to have a 35 million opening weekend. Box office tracking website Box Office Pro predicted back in May the film would gross anywhere between 28 and 39 million in its opening weekend and go on to gross between 89 million and 155 million in its entire theatrical run at the domestic box office. This is not a good sign for a movie like this. 89 to 155 million. Let's just say they make equal that overseas. So you got 355 million. That's not going to be good for a movie that costs around $200 million to produce. More recently, Box Office Pro predicted the film would have an opening weekend between 31 and 41 million. They would specifically claim it would only earn 33 million. So now they're even lowering the expectations from already dire predictions. I mean, how do they expect to actually make money off this? Even if the film was hits the 41 million mark, it would have the worst opening of any Pixar produced film ever. So even then, their bad predictions right now are still saying it's worse than what they have right now. Because like, yeah, you're like, oh, but it'll beat Toy Story that came out 95. Yeah, but if you adjust for inflation, look at what it would actually have been produced. This is terrible. Not only that, Toy Story is a beloved movie, and why did it not do too well at the time, or why did it do significantly less? Because Pixar was a new company. People didn't know what to expect of it. I mean, they didn't know what to make of Toy Story. Then after they saw it and saw what Pixar produced, well, now it is. But Pixar is becoming a damaged brand, just like Disney's a damaged brand. They're pretty much just destroying everything that they're associated with. We got Star Wars that's now tainted. We got pretty much anything by Lucasfilm. I mean, even like ones that really didn't have too much following, like Willow in the past from Lucasfilm, they bring that back just to destroy that one too. So much so that they have to remove it from their website just to get a tax write-off because it's worth more for that than for people actually watching it. The poor opening weekend means the film is likely to be a box office bomb, given the Hollywood Reporter notes that most Pixar films are believed to cost around 200 million to produce. Yeah, we don't know exactly what the budget is, but let's just go with that. I mean, because what else are we to have to go by? And other reported budgets for similar movies are around that. So, but in all honesty, it could be less. I will give them that, but it could be significantly more. Is it going to be a $300 million movie? No, they're not going to spend $300 million on this, but 200 sounds pretty reasonable. And if you take the factor of 2.5 times the budget, it needs to make 600 million to break even. So if they're bringing in 155 million domestically on a good estimate, and let's say you double that for overseas, okay, well, yeah, that's around 610 million. Okay, that's over that mark right there. So I guess they would just break even on the high estimates right there. Would they be happy to invest $200 million in a movie and whatnot and only get 10 million back? No, that's actually bad for them. But in all likelihood, they're not even going to get that much. They're probably going to be losing 100 million on this, at least if these early projections are to be believed. But let me know what you think in the comments. Make sure to hit the like button and to share the video and to subscribe to the channel if you want to keep up on the latest news. Thank you.